The wind howled across the plains like it was angry at the world, rattling the loose boards of the old barn at the edge of the ranch. The cowboy had just finished checking the horses when he heard a faint knock, soft, unsure, almost lost in the storm. When he opened the barn door, he found a woman standing there with 2 children clinging to her coat, their faces pale from the cold. Her eyes were tired, but proud, until the wind cut harder and broke that pride apart. She begged for just one night of shelter. Nothing more. He didn't ask where they came from or what had chased them into the dark. He simply nodded and led them inside. The barn wasn't much, hay stacked high, the warm breath of animals fogging the air, a single lantern hanging from a nail, but it was solid, and it was dry. He shut the door against the storm and felt the quiet settle, broken only by the shuffle of hooves and the distant groan of wind through the beams. The children stared at him with wide eyes. The older one, a boy no more than 8, held his sister's hand like it was a promise he could keep. The girl leaned into her mother's side, her boots soaked through. The cowboy knelt, pulled off his gloves, and set them near the lantern to dry. "You're safe here," he said, his voice low and steady, like the land he worked. It wasn't much of a promise, but it was the truth he had. He showed them the small room off the barn where he slept when storms rolled in. A narrow bed, a wool blanket folded neat, a chair with a coat draped over it. He paused, then made up his mind. "You take the bed," he said, already turning away. "I'll be fine out here." The woman protested at first, shaking her head, but he cut her off gently. "Just one night," he repeated, as if reminding himself too. He built a small fire in the iron stove and set a kettle to boil. The barn warmed slowly, the kind of warmth that seeps in rather than rushing. He found bread in a tin and split it carefully, handing pieces to the children first. They ate quietly, like they were afraid the sound might break something fragile. The woman thanked him in a voice worn thin by too many long days. He nodded, not trusting himself to say much. As the storm pressed closer, the cowboy checked the animals, moving with practiced care. He laid extra hay, tightened a loose latch, and listened to the night. The wind carried memories with it, of a time when he'd been younger and less steady, when he'd wandered with nothing but a bedroll and a horse. He knew the look in the woman's eyes. It was the look of someone who had walked farther than she planned. He returned to the stove and poured hot water over grounds in a chipped mug. The woman sat on the edge of the bed, rubbing her children's hands to warm them. The boy asked about the horses, his curiosity breaking through the fear. The cowboy smiled.